Pauline and Rita, would you come up and help me talk about our aunts? Our aunts and mothers.
I got Kevin's ring.
I can do better.
Go through. Talk about
No, there's a layer frying. That was different. I had known her. We used to go over to her place. Yeah, they were
When you
in
come from
Iowa.
Massachusetts, it's an aunt. When you come from Pennsylvania, it's an aunt.
How about a guy that's for you?
I say aunt. That's high-class way of saying it, if you're a Kennedy.
well, you know, as you all know, I'm the oldest grandchild.
I remember that from way back. I wish I would have
I'm the youngest, I must be. No, Michael is.
Michael's the youngest.
Where is he? Over here. He's the youngest.
So, and my mother had them both. Right, that was an accomplishment. Well, you all know my mother. She was the best. What can I say?
She was.
She really was. And I think that she's not only known in Massachusetts and Connecticut, and Rhode Island, Illinois,
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Whoever would take her in.
Even in Illinois, I have people asking me every day about my mother. You know, saying, gee, your mother was such a lovely lady, and we liked her so much. And considering she only spent, you know, winters with me, and stop crying because you're going to get the rest of it. But she left her mark, and I know she left her mark with each and every one of you.
With Michael and Rita.
Yeah.
That's a mark.
But she has so much love to give that the love is still living. And what better tribute can you give a person? Is that what you want? Are you next, Pauline?
Well, and she, yeah. Hey, we all have our faults, Danny. I think most important is that we have two Frechettes with us, and that's Teresa and Aunt Rosa, or Dittos as we know her as. And we have two outlaws named Cecilia and Julie, who could not join us tonight.
They're old too.
But they're old.
I don't think so.
And I think they probably have as many years in duty as a Frechette as anybody does. This tonight seems to be more of a cousin reunion, and when you look at all of us together, we're damn lucky people to have a family as we have, because people just don't believe we have so much wealth, and that's what we are, as the richest people in the world. The last time we were here was for Bobby and Linda's wedding. Did I get that right? I didn't want to get the wrong wife. And we had such a good time, and we have a big picture of all of us together. And unfortunately, since then, we have lost a few of our members, but we are together, whether it be 40, 50, 60, it doesn't matter. But we're all here together as cousins, and that makes us very, very wealthy people. Whether we are broke or rich or whatever, we are lucky. And where Jeannie wants to go from here, I really don't know, my darling.
My turn.
It's your turn. Is it my way or your turn?
Not our turn, no.
You have to wait, Kevin.
Your turn will come quite a few years from now.
To the two remaining Frechettes, Rose and my mother Teresa, I want to say I love you very much. And I'm glad you're still here. And I'd like to run through quickly our other aunts and uncles and what they have meant to us and what we do remember about them. So you're going to have to help me out, right?
All right.
We'll start with Emelina.
Right.
I remember her flowers, her chenille flowers, and the birds, and when we went there, we had always had potato chips with Uncle Mitty. And Eva, I didn't know Eva real well. Can anybody fill in?
I think we know more of Gloria than Eva, because I don't think Eva really joined us much. The one thing I
Except in the
remember
late
about
years.
Eva,
She
is
did
going
later
to
on.
her funeral and my father being very proud of all the people that were there. That's what I remember about Eva.
Well, I remember Aunt Eva. And she lived on,
Oh.
was it Dean Street?
Time ago.
Yeah,
I remember Aunt Eva
her.
from off Puzzle
Who
Street.
said that?
You told us not private.
That's all right. I remember Aunt Eva very
Yeah,
well.
but she was kind of a retiring type person. But you know, still water runs deep. She had a couple of husbands too, I think.
I heard one was
She did
very
all right for
handsome.
herself.
Oh, Uncle Norman was.
Oh, Norman
Yeah,
Marcy.
Massey, was he?
But he was ever chauvinistic.
Oh,
We have a lot of chauvinistic men in this family, but I'm not saying at all, Reno. I wouldn't do that to you.
Okay, let's go on to another member of the family. I remember my Uncle Raymond, your father.
Right.
He was a gentleman.
Oh, he was a fisherman too.
He was a man of a lot of principle and a lot of pride. I think that sums him up best. And he was very proud of us.
Number one.
Uncle Roland. Uncle Roland was a super person. He always welcomed everybody into his home, as well as his wife Claire.
He kept a lot of reunions also in
I
his
was just
own
going
way.
to say, we've had a lot of reunions in his
Oh,
backyard with clam bakes.
satisfied.
And
Threw the pennies on the floor.
Plan satisfied.
Did the original?
Yeah, and Claire
A
and Carol,
legacy.
we miss not having you here this time.
Remember Roland always asking to see the nickel.
Yep, I remember that.
First one you ever made. He wanted to see it.
And John Frechette, your father, you remember him very well. He was also a gentleman. They were all gentlemen, weren't
They
they?
surely were. I think
Yeah,
Uncle
he was.
John loved
And
horses,
Donna.
if I remember correctly, and his beautiful home, and his
Horses and
lovely
company.
wife. Yes, kids, and having his family over.
I remember him as a sailor. Boy, he
Do
was
you really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't remember that.
Oh,
That's because she's old.
This is the old.
I can remember
That was
Uncle
the
John
picture we
bringing
had
the
on
old
the wall,
man
and he-
cigarettes in Hartford, Connecticut.
And he used to have
Yeah.
hair then, right? When he was still?
He what?
He had hair when he was still?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
yeah.
I can remember him doing
I can
that
still
stuff.
see him with
Tailoring.
the old bell-bottom trousers,
Right.
boy. He was a swagger.
He was making money doing tailoring during
He
the war.
was jack of all trades.
Yeah.
And Uncle Dona?
Uncle Donor, I remember more as a jack of all trades who could buy the oldest of houses and make them into
And
a
he could
dream
dig you to
house.
death.
Smartest man
He
I
loved
ever
to
knew.
pull tricks
Yeah.
on you. Like to laugh at you.
I think the one thing the
He had a good
Frechettes
sense of
gave
humor.
us as a name, as a tradition, is a lot of common sense, and we are people who hate stupid. You do not have to be educated, but if you have common sense, I think it's the greatest thing in the whole world, and that's what we have inherited from them, is common sense, hopefully, anyway.
I think Mother only went to the 3rd grade.
Yeah.
My mother. And yet, yeah, and she was, you know, one of the smartest
You
ladies
remember
I
the
ever-
story about her first visit to Canal Street?
No.
Oh, yeah.
You don't remember that she knocks on the door and
Oh,
Mrs.
you're
Ryder
going to
says,
tell that story.
Go ahead, Dick, finish it.
well, you can come in and wait. She came in, she took a bath, she, you know, got ready
And she
later in
went
the
down the
afternoon.
steps and saw a picture on a
Family
piano.
portrait, yeah.
and she asked the girl who was babysitting who that was, and the girl said that was the lady who owned the house. It was a different Kreider. She was on a different street.
Let me tell you.
I was on, she was supposed to take a Maple Street bus, and she took a Walnut Street bus, which were across the street.
And
Well,
she was in
you
the
know,
wrong
Walnut was
house.
up across from Cumberland Street, and on the other side was Maple. Now, we lived on Canal, but she would have known that. But she took the wrong nut.
That's right.
a bus, and she ended up in that person's house.
And how did she get out of it, Dick? Do you
Oh,
remember?
I'm certain it was so graciously that no one ever knew she was there.
That she-
I'm sure the bathroom was still clean.
She called up the New Hampshire Signal to find out where Art worked.
Oh.
And they gave the address.
And when was
that's
that?
how-
Do you remember?
I don't tell you everything.
That was a
You
long
are,
time
of
ago.
course, very young.
A week.
Can I have the floor?
I
That's
thought
what I'm saying. He is so young.
No, I want to talk about Beatrice.
Oh,
Yeah, I want to
yeah,
do one more person. We haven't mentioned Rose Sequin.
Okay.
Okay, Rose Sequin is certainly worth remembering because she was a sweet, dear person and loved everyone who came in contact with her.
My Aunt Rose taught me how to iron shirts.
Oh, boy.
Okay?
How to keep away from my mother when she was really
When
sick.
I was, I think, 12 years old, I used to go to Rose's house on the 3rd floor on Bullitt Street, and she taught me how to iron shirts.
I was doing it before
Right.
you.
You were pretty old ironing shirts, because I was young.
That was
No,
cool.
no, no. Beatrice lived on